So the big question today is, should we fly or should we drive? In preparation for our upcoming trip to Scandinavia, we went through a lot of variations where we tossed around ideas whether we should drive, whether we should fly, whether we should fly part way, drive some of the way.
Get a train, get a boat.
So we're just gonna lay out our thinking process, share it with you and basically see what you think, whether flying or driving or training or whatever you want to call it is better for traveling.
Now, obviously, planes are a lot faster than pretty much any other mode of transport. Unless you can do 600 miles an hour in a car one day, we can get to Scandinavia from here in the UK in under half a day. And that includes getting to the airport, waiting, and so on and so forth.
Which obviously means more time up north to try and catch the Northern Lights.
As opposed to spending a couple of days at least driving there, or at least getting a train or a bus or whatever. It will take us a couple of days to get that far on wheels, as opposed to in the air.
Yeah. Although, obviously, the next logical thing is that we actually gonna miss out on the journey. If we take a plane, all we're gonna see is clouds, and
also all we're gonna see is the next person's seat in our face.
That too.
Yeah.
Although, thankfully, for short flights, they're not allowed to put them down. And if Ryanair is good for anything, it is that their seats actually do not recline at all, which I actually love.
Another thing about the planes, the hassle of waking up at 4 a.m, getting either a lift or a bus or a train to the airport, hanging around for an hour and a half, waiting to get on the plane, you're squashed on the plane, 2 hours. You get my drift. It's not a particularly fun
Nobody
experience.
likes getting on the plane.
I mean, unless you're getting, in business class or first class, because that experience, although we've never done it, we have seen people do it. It is quite a bit different from the
much
economy
more civilized.
class.
Not like cattle.
Another big point, planes are cheaper. Well, I mean, not buying a physical plane. Planes are way more expensive than cars. For now, a plane seat is much cheaper than the fuel cost of driving that far, or even a train or a bus ticket.
The possible car insurance that you need to get.
Then obviously the wear and tear on your own car, or if you're hiring a car, then obviously you have to pay for that as well. It's a lot cheaper to fly.
Although with planes, then you have to consider luggage. That's usually another 20 quid, pounds, euros, whatever.
Each way.
Each way. But then when you get to your destination, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna use a train, bus, or are you gonna rent a car? Because all of those are significant costs.
If you're going to fly to a place and then rent a car in that place to then drive around and then fly back, first of all, have you ever seen car rental agreements? Have you seen how long their terms and conditions are?
Have you read them? You're signing your life away. Now, we're gonna do a video on renting specifically a camper van and how to inspect it. But just here, heads up, take pictures, take videos.
Everything.
Okay.
By the way, do you think we could have fitted a month's worth of stuff that we wanted to take, including food, into just hand luggage only on a plane?
No, I don't think so. Especially since we would like to take the cheaper options in terms of flying, which will most likely be Ryanair or Wizz Air or EasyJet. And basically they do have a lot of restraints on how much hand luggage you take. And nowadays you have to pay more to ensure that your bag goes onto the plane to actually be carry-on.
Yeah, rather than being put on hold.
I definitely think that we cannot possibly get enough food for 4 weeks in carry-on.
Yeah,
plus,
have you seen how much food is in Norway and Sweden? It's horrific. So we're taking food from here.
It's the Switzerland of the north. That's what I'm calling it, the Switzerland of the north. But yeah, well, we're gonna be taking a lot of cans. That's gonna be over the limit with like 10 cans, and that's what, 3 days?
I can just imagine the airport people's security just like, this bag is filled with cans,
Beep,
what
beep,
are
beep,
you
beep.
doing? Also, we want to take other things, like we want to take our Swiss Army knives, for example. You can't take that on a plane.
Crap.
What?
We're taking a Swiss Army knife and we're flying back.
Oh, crap. We didn't think of this through. We might have to post our Swiss Army knife back to the UK.
We might have to post a Swiss Army knife back to the UK.
What's in this postage? Nothing.
So actually, planes don't just limit, the amount of kilograms you can take. They also limit the amount of the type of things that you can take. Like they have so many prohibited items, which actually it's not just a Swiss Army knife. Like I do art and I may want to take paint and I can't really take down and carry on.
Although I guess the benefit about packing, especially for only carry-on luggage, it means that you do have to be selective about what you take, and it can limit overpacking because the more space you have, for example, the boot of a car or big suitcases, the more likely you are you're going to fill that space. But to be honest, since we're going for a month and also we're going to be in a camper van, so we're not going to be carrying all this stuff around with us, it doesn't matter too much.
But it does matter because we are driving there, but
We're flying back.
as we just realized, we are flying back.
So maybe we may have to rethink the Swiss Army knife thing. But we'll think.
We'll let you know.
If you are driving somewhere but you do want to save on accommodation costs and don't particularly want to sleep in your car, then you can take like a tent in the boot and then, you know, go to a campsite, set up a tent or whatever, and then you have your accommodation with you, as opposed to if you're on a plane, then you are going to have to book somewhere.
Yeah, you have to be booking accommodations.
Unless you're willing to walk and carry your tent. It depends whether you actually enjoy driving so much. Personally, I love driving, and do you like driving?
Driving is perfectly lovely. I just don't like other people on the road driving with me. I like being the annoying passenger.
Yes, you can be the annoying passenger.
I also lead you. I'm the mad person.
Fine.
I'm not overly annoying.
So yeah, if you don't like driving, then obviously you're not going to take a road trip. You're going to fly. And obviously if you like flying, especially if you're flying business class as well, as opposed to economy, you much prefer to fly than spend hours possibly in traffic jams or just driving along a motorway. People sometimes don't like it.
Perfectly honest, you did not care about the conditions in the plane originally. You just like the flying sensation, and I love takeoff and touchdown.
I like takeoff and landing. I don't like the bit between it.
Yeah, okay, that part's actually a bit boring. There's also the question of planning. Going on the comparison website and just picking your, arrival time and then your return flight is much easier than getting a bunch of maps and planning a long, however many kilometers, thousands of kilometers road trip. So really planning a road trip can be really overwhelming, but like anything, it's just down to practice. We've done it a bunch of times and we really enjoy it. So even though it is still overwhelming, and a good technique to basically avoid the strain of it, I guess, is don't really plan it that much. Have a general direction. Make sure that you can deviate from the path, I guess. And
you realise you've just said the best way to plan a road trip is to not really plan it.
Exactly. It's the curse of flying and planning your holiday before you go.
Yeah.
Because, you may get there and not like it and then you're stuck.
Yep.
And the fact of having the freedom to drive is that you can change that plan, but you still are working within the confines of your holiday idea at that time. So as we've already said, we are mixing the two. We have the opportunity to drive to Scandinavia to pick up our van, and we're going to be touring the Scandinavian countries with our camper. We're nervous about renting, but
we'll get there. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. And then we're flying back just so we can get back quickly.
Yeah. So the idea is we take as much food as we possibly can that will not go off for the 4 weeks. So we cut a bit of the food cost in Scandinavia. And then once the food is eaten, we are gonna repack our carry-on, and hopefully at that point everything will fit nicely in there, and then we're gonna just take a plane back. Let us know down in the comments below whether you're going to pick flying versus driving on your next trip.
Possibly, even another mode of transport, train, bus, boat,
Bike.
Bird.
Eagle. The eagles are coming! Like this video, subscribe!